Hey guys, this is your average developer, and today I'm going to show you some shortcuts that may be helpful while coding in your development workflow. It will help you in increasing your productivity. Yeah, so I'll be showing some shortcut in IntelliJ. So I have been working in development for the past 7 to 7 years now. So it has helped me a lot in fasting, in speeding up my workflow. So I hopefully it will be helpful to you guys as well. So let's get started. Okay, so this is a file and I want to show you the navigations part first, and then we can move across the various other shortcuts. So the first shortcut is Control Shift N. Okay, so it will help you to go to any file. So if you want to go to the hello world file, so you can type the file name, or you can just type H and W. So it will also bring up this context, and you can select it from here. Okay, so you can go to this file. So let's suppose I want to go to map practice, map emp. You can type the first two letters and it will give you the file name. Okay, so this is for the files, and if you want to go to a specific class, then you can type as Control N, and that will also bring up the same window. But the only difference here is in Java, as you know, the class name and the file name are almost the same, are mostly the same, unless we have an inner classes. So in Java, mostly you can type it from either using Control Shift N or Control N. So but in case you have some file like a JSON file or a .csv file or some other files, .gradle file. So let's suppose you want to type that gradle build.gradle, right? So you can type this Control Shift N and type build.gradle. So if you type Control N, then you will not be able to find this file. But if you type Control Shift N and if you type this file, then you will be able to find it. Okay, so that's the difference. In Java, mostly you can either use Control Shift N or N, so it doesn't matter. So let's suppose you are in this file is in the editor, and you want to see this file where it is in the project view. Okay, so you can press Alt1. So Alt1 will bring, you can see the cursor, the highlighted one, right? So it will bring you, it will bring your control to the file name in the project view. So I think you will have to do it a bit you have to check this, always say select open file, so it will help you. So if you don't select it, it will open the project view, but this file will not be selected. Okay, so if you check this one, then this file also will be selected. So the third command would be, uh, let's suppose this is your file and you want to go in which folder this file is. So you can press Alt F1 and you can go to show in Explorer. If you show in Explorer, then you can see this file is in which folder, right? So sometimes it is helpful in going to the project directory where the file is, and it can be helpful sometimes. So these three are navigation commands. So I think that the fourth command would be like, you see there are project windows, we have version control windows, we have run window, we have debug windows. So all those windows you can access it via shortcuts. You don't have to go there, click the mouse to go to the debug option, run option. So what you can do is, there is a command. So Alt1 it will go to the project window, Alt2 it will go to the bookmarks, Alt3 it will go to your find window, Alt4 debug, it will go to your run, 5 it will debug, and Alt9 it will go you to your version control. If Alt8 I think the services, Alt7 would be the endpoint, Alt6 would be the error, the problem file. So you can go to each of the windows using various shortcuts. So this shortcut is extremely helpful if you remember it. And yeah, so now whatever the file that you've opened, if you want to go to the recently open file, you can do it by pressing Control E. So Control E will show you all those recently open file, and Control E again if you press it, so it will show you the file which you have edited. Okay, the difference between Control E and Control Shift E is only the edited file will show you. Okay, now let's suppose you are in the class. Okay, so in this class there are hundred of methods. So if you want to go at the method by method, you can go. Let's suppose you are here. If you press alt and down arrow, it will go to specific methods on. It will jump across methods. So it will help you to go down the method fastest while at the same time looking at the method name. And same if you go up, you have to press alt up arrow. Okay, so if you want to see what are the method in this specific class, you can press control F12, and this will give you all those methods. Okay, so you can see some of the methods are not highlighted also, right? So these methods are those methods which are present in the super class. These are all overridden method. So if you want to these are all inherited method, not overridden, inherited method. So if you don't want to see all those inherited method, you can again press control F12, then all those will be hidden. So you can see the method which are present in the current class. So not only method, you can see this is a files what do you call the field, as well as the constant. If there's any constant, you can see from directly from here. Okay, it's extremely useful. So you can see a lot of data from here. Okay, so let's suppose you are in this class and you want to see about you want to learn about this class. Okay, you don't have to go to this class by pressing control B. What you can do is you can press control shift I, and that will bring up a small window, and in this small window you can check the detail of the class. Okay, so you don't have to go to that class and come back again to do something. You can be in the same class and you can see all those informations about that class. Okay, so there are other commands like so if you want to move this method, okay, let's suppose you create one method and you want to move this method to some other class. Okay, so I think the easiest way would be press F6, and it will give you an option to which method you want to move the class. Okay, okay, so let's suppose I create a, a method here. Okay, utility class. Okay, so I create a method and I want to move this method to the utility class. You can press F6 and I can press control R, so it will move this method to utility class. Yeah. Okay, so I just moved this method in this class. Okay, so uh, if I want to bring back the same method in the hello world class, you can have is hello world. Okay, so you can see the method again come back to the same one, right? So if you want to move the entire method, then you can do is control shift up arrow, then it will bring the entire method. So if you want to bring up, if you want to move the particular line, you can press alt shift up down, it will bring up the line. But if you want to bring the entire block, you can bring it as control shift. Okay, that will bring the entire method up and down. Okay, so I have shown how to move the file. You can do the, so let's suppose you want to change the method signature. You don't have to come and manually change it. So you can do is control F6, it will bring up this window. And if you want to move up, then you can press alt and move up. And if you control enter, that will do the refactor, right? So so let's suppose you want to do it, remove the second parameter itself. So you can do it by using the days and minus here, refactor it. Okay, so there is some conflict, you can't remove it as it is. So if you want to check which is the conflict, you can see the days is being used here, right? In the, here it is being used, right? So you can't just remove it. This is how you can do refactoring. Okay, so let's suppose you want to check which method, who is calling this method. This call may be happening from within the same class or maybe outside of the class. Okay, so you can do it by pressing Control Alt H. So in this case, like you can see the hierarchy, right? It has been called from here, and it has been called from main method also. This is the one. This is the one from where it has been called. Okay. So if this class has any subclasses or not, you can check by pressing the command, right? Control H. If you press, then you can see all those subclasses if it is present. So if this method, you know that it's an abstract method and it has multiple implementation. And if you want to go any of the implementation, you can press Control Alt B, then it will bring up a window to go, and you can go to the to either of the implementation as per your need, right? So you can go there. So fourth command would be so okay, this date, right? This date, you want to know from where this method has been called from multiple, it can be called from multiple places, right? So this date attribute, you want to know the how this value of the date get populated, right? So it may be a complex object. So in this complex object, you want to see the value of each of the from where it is getting populated. The object has been created and passed on, right? So you can do it by, you can just put your cursor here and press Ctrl Shift A and analyze the data flow from here. I just have created a shortcut for that one because it is very helpful. So you can see if you go down here and if you come here, so this date is being populated here, right? So you can see here how the data is coming, from where the data is coming, from what the data is getting populated. So it is extremely helpful. You can use it while doing debugging or something. Okay, and one more thing I just want to show is like here, let's suppose you have imports which you are not using it. So if you have import, you can directly clean up using Control Alt O. It will optimize the import. So let's suppose you have import java dot, sorry, I just want to import it to classroom. Okay, you can see that this is a duplicate and it's already been there, so you can optimize it by using Control Alt O to optimize it. And one more thing I just want to show you is, let's suppose you have something which has been not been used, like this is not been used, right? So I think the best way would be, before you submit your code, run an inspections to see the code. So you can do it by pressing Alt Shift I. You can see what's the problem in this code, right? So if you see test path, you can see file has no uses. Directly from here you can delete it, right? So directly there are lots of things you can delete it from the inspection itself. You don't have to push code and again come back uh, complaining from the Sunan that this is unused import is there. So before you push your code, just make sure that you run some inspection, and so that it will help you if there is a spelling mistake or dictionary problem. Everything will be sorted out from the editor itself. And lots of things you can fix it directly from your ID itself, and you don't have to push it everything. Okay, and what more we have? Okay, so one thing is, what I found is very helpful is, let's suppose you want to see at this point what is the output of the variable, like what is the output. You can press Control Shift P and you can see like what exactly is the output. It will be a local date variable. So while doing a chaining, right, sometimes it's very useful to put it. So here you can extract a variable by using Control Shift Control Alt V. So if you want to put this variable as a field, you can press this Control Alt F. It will put it as a field. If you want to create some kind of constant, you can put it as what's a constant? At this part, you want to create it as a constant, right? So what you can do is Control Alt C. Okay, you can create a constant. You can see directly here. Okay. So one thing I just want to highlight here is, let's suppose this day, right? This date. So you see like there's a constant date here, and date is being here, and we can replace the same date here, right? But for some reasons we didn't replace at the time while we created a variable. So at the end also, what you can do is come here, press the Control Shift A and type find and replace. Yeah, find field duplicates. If you search it, you can search across the project, you can search across the module, you can search in the same file. So for us, I think we are trying to replace it in the same file, so we can analyze it. So it figured out that this file can be replaceable, so you can replace it directly here. Okay, so I think it's useful and it saves us tons of time. Okay. Okay, yeah, so that should be it. I'll bring back more handy shortcuts. So guys, if you like the content and if you have learned something, consider subscribing to my channel. I know like this channel is fairly new, and I am also trying to learn something, trying to present the content in a more structured way. So if you are enjoying it, consider liking it. I definitely would be improving my content in the futures and many technical stuff. So yeah, that's all. Thank you very much for your time.